Welcome to Birmingham, Alabama for the 2011 SEC Championship. Yesterday, the 7 teams in the conference made their official selections, and the competition draw is set. It's championship time in the premier conference in the nation, and Southeast Conference glory is at stake.
The SEC title is on the line tonight.
The pressure is on, and we are ready to perform.
Every tenth of a point will count.
There is no room for error.
7 teams vying for one important title.
It's our time. Our time. Our time. It's our time to shine.
It's the SEC Championship.
Next.
You're watching the SEC on ESPN. It's the 2011 Women's Gymnastics Championship. Hi everybody, I'm Mark Connor, and we're proud that you've joined us for this exciting day of gymnastics featuring the 7 teams in the Southeast Conference, 4 of which are ranked in the top 12 in the nation. Let's take a look at the competition format. There will be 7 rotations of competition, meaning 4 teams competing simultaneously, 3 teams on byes, 6 gymnasts per rotation per event, with just the top 5 scores counting towards the team total. And I'm proud, as always, to be joined by Kathy Johnson-Clark and Suzanne Yocklin. It's going to be terrific today, and Florida has been ranked #1 all year long, and their fortunes continued to look good yesterday with the competition draw.
Yes, Bart, they were absolutely on yesterday with the draw. Miranda Smith actually drew what many feel is the best rotation for any team. Florida gets to start the competition off the floor, which means they finish competing. When they come onto the floor, they start following Alabama on the uneven bars, and they'll follow Alabama throughout the competition, so there's a direct comparison for the officials. On top of all of that, they are deep, they are talented, they are so deep that they actually have about 3 or 4 gymnasts that score 9-9 or higher, which means no pressure on any one.
They are great, no doubt, but Alabama comes in with momentum and timing. This is a team that struggled early on in the season, but have gotten better and better, so the timing is fantastic for them. They are peaking for the championship season.
Now let's talk about the parity in the Southeast Conference. I mean, we've seen it all year long. Just about anybody can beat anybody on any given night. Let's talk about some of the spoilers, perhaps Georgia and Arkansas.
Well, Georgia, Bart, I mean, they've won 10 NCAA titles, 16 SEC titles. So Coach Jay Clark, even though he's in his 2nd year as a head coach, was the assistant coach during those championship years. He knows exactly what it takes to win. He knows what Georgia needs to do. Unfortunately for Georgia, though, they had another injury in warm-ups tonight to Lindsey Cheek, and they'll be competing without her, so their woes continue.
Well, when you look at Arkansas, I have this visual image of them circling above the arena, because this is a team who has been there ready to take advantage of those top-ranked teams making mistakes. So, like you said, anything can happen.
Well, let's take a look at what can happen in the competition tonight, because Florida's #1, Alabama #2 in the nation. It's their meet to win or lose, and it's going to be exciting because parity reigns in the SEC. Nice crowd on hand in Birmingham. We'll see competitions, 4 events going simultaneously. Kentucky opens on the vault, Alabama the bars, LSU on the beam, and Georgia on the floor. Our first performer for Alabama could be critical in this team battle. It's Ashley Sledge, and she's played a key role for them all year long on this event.
And we've talked about this. This was a great decision to put her up first in the lineup. Very strong, aggressive performer on this event. Big skills.
Ashley is 100% in hitting her routine. That's one of the reasons Coach Patterson put her first up. This was an event that was inconsistent for Alabama with a different lineup order.
Great handstands in this routine. They are looking for that. And, of course, this almighty stuff landing.
There it is.
What a start.
That's the way to start a competition for any team. First up, big stuck dismount, great routine.
Especially in front of this pro-Alabama crowd. Boy, they love to see that stuck landing.
What a finale. I love this dismount. Double layout, and she does it as well as anyone.
Watch the second flip. It rises up higher than the first one. Perfect.
All right. Alabama off to a great start on the bars with Sledge. But for Georgia now on the floor, Noelle Couch, the sophomore out of New Jersey.
She has been so consistent this year. She has scored 9-9 4 times. That's a pike, a double back and a pike position with a full twist. She took a big step on the landing. That was a big deduction.
Although Although Jay Clark said this event is improved for Georgia, this has been really where they have been most inconsistent.
They have, Bart. Even though they haven't always counted falls, they've had a lot of low scores in their lineup, 9-5s and 9-6s. Nice landing there for Noah. Last time we passed is double pike. You'll see a lot of those in the competition tonight. A strong dismount.
Georgia is especially good on the bars and the beam. If they're going to be close at the end of this competition, they're going to have to be strong on floor. Good job for Noelle Couch. To the vault now for Kentucky, Felicia Richard out of Ohio.
So Yurchenko laid out with a full twist. Step on the landing, nice height off of the table.
Important opportunity here for Geraldine Stack-Eaton of Alabama. She had a rough week. She slipped off the bars on a release move and kind of got a whiplash in her neck. So she was questionable coming into this competition.
Watch this, Yurchenko. She has such impeccable form. Good handstands, but legs straight, toes pointed.
Beautiful release. I love that.
Very nice transition down to low bar. Whoa! Almost went over, but right on top. Nice stiff landing. Oh no, that is uncharacteristic for her.
Perhaps the few days off in training because of that whiplash neck showed up here.
Came out a little early. First of all, she was probably a little bit rattled on that handstand. Full pirouette here. Now watch the dismount. She lands straight-legged, little shorter rotation.
And the heels were just in front of her hips, just enough to push her backwards.
Not the type of landing that she had hoped for. Jasmine Minion now for Kentucky on the vault, the senior.
She's been one of Kentucky's best vaulters all year and has actually scored a 9.95 earlier. That hop is going to hurt her score tonight.
She typically contributes on vault and floor exercise for the Wildcats. Wrapping it up now for Alabama on the bars is Kayla Hoffman. The score for Stack-Eaton, a 9-6, their low score on this event.
And this is a great 1-2 punch for Alabama. Unfortunate landing in the previous bar routine. But Hoffman is just right on so far, hitting handstands.
We mentioned at the top, 6 gymnasts per team per event. The best 5 scores count towards a team total.
Watch this dismount, another double layup. Whoa! And she got the momentum back for Alabama right when they needed it. They won't have to count that low score from Geraldine Stack-Eaton. I love her form on her dismount, her stretch.
This is great teamwork. I love this aspect of collegiate gymnastics. They pick up for one another. They needed a stuck landing here. And Kayla Hoffman, the senior, just drills it into the mat.
She is such a competitor. She loves to be in this kind of position.
And nothing like a stuck landing before they head over to the treacherous balance beam for the Crimson Tide. The final performer for LSU on the beam will be Samantha Engel, the senior out of Plano, Texas. This has been a rough year for the Tigers at LSU. Lots of inconsistencies and several unexpected injuries have really decimated their lineup.
And unfortunately, here on their first event, they already have a 9.3, a low score they want to drop.
And that's from Sari Morrison, who's normally one of their superstar freshmen.
One of the requirements on balance beam is to do a 180 split. She'll show you here her switch leg, switch side, and she does that very well. Hits that 180 position in both of those leaps.
Oh, no.
Looked like her her back foot just slipped right off the beam. That's too bad. LSU's going to have to count a fall on balance beam now.
One factor to consider here, many of these gymnasts are competing up on the podium for the first time.
Good point.
Some of the younger gymnasts, the freshmen, have never been up on a raised platform. Makes for a great event. It's an awesome feeling being up there, but you definitely have to get used to it.
Well, LSU and Alabama competed earlier in the season at the Metroplex competition just so that they could get on a podium and have some experience.
Oh, what a shame. The rest of the routine is very, very solid.
Disappointing start for the Tigers on the balance beam.
As you said, Suzanne, her foot just slid off to the side.
Oh.
When she adjusted the front foot, the back foot slid.
All right. We'll be back with her score and the standings after the first of 7 rotations.
I'm Mackenzie Caquato from the University of Florida Gators, and you're watching the SEC Championship.
And welcome back. Here are the standings after the first of 7 rotations. Alabama off to a terrific start on the bars. Georgia in second place, Kentucky and LSU. And you notice Florida, Auburn, and Arkansas were on a bye in that first rotation. So they start action now in rotation number 2. Up for Florida on the bars in leadoff position is Nicole Ellis, the junior out of Naperville, Illinois. Interesting about Florida, they're ranked first in the country on every event except bars where they're just a lowly second place. This is a strong team.
Very strong, very deep. And they look terrific on this event in the warm-ups, hitting every handstand.
Oh, she was a little close there on that Jaeger release, that straddle Jaeger. You're supposed to have straight arms when you catch the bar. Ellis has been in every single meet this year on the bars for the Gators.
It's a dismount. Great landing. We talk about the big routines at the end of the lineup so often that you forget these early routines are so critical to the team score, and that's a great way to start.
Now for a vault, Auburn's Allison Sandusky. Katrina Yoke had a 9-7 in the leadoff roll.
So Yurchenko with a half turn, a little different vault. The turn was actually pretty late in the vault. And she bent her knees at the end, and that created the hop.
Deandra Milliner now for Alabama on the beam. Gutierrez in the leadoff roll, only a 9.5. So pressure starts to build here with the Crimson Tide on this event.
But first up, Gutierrez struggled, but fought to stay on the beam, and that could make a difference in the end.
Very smooth landing there. I always watch their faces on the balance beam. You can see it begin right there to get a little bit tight.
There's a freshman who just joined the team at the semester break. A lot of pressure on a young lady.
Alabama actually has 4 freshmen and sophomores, 4 underclassmen competing on this event tonight.
He's done an excellent job so far in the season, but this is by far the biggest pressure situation. Losing a little bit on form. That trail leg on that leap is a little bit low and next foot.
You know, it's interesting that Alabama and Florida both are going to have bars and being completed in the first half of the meet. We'll know a lot.
And that's a great landing, though. Way to finish.
Milner does a round off with a double twist, sets the direction, and is able to stick the landing.
Now to the bars. Alicia Goodwin, the senior out of Dallas, Texas for Florida.
Alicia's had a terrific college season, been very important to this Florida team. Such a clean gymnast.
Nicole Ellis had a 9.85. Ajane Dickerson a 9.8.
The scores are tight tonight. The judges know they have to distinguish between every single routine and make a differentiation, and they are really scoring tight.
Leaving a little bit of room up there at the top for some of the later routines, perhaps. Watching closely, they're going to love that dismount. Great landing.
for Alabama on the beam, Kim Jacob. Deandra Milner's score was a 9.75.
That was a switch leap with a half turn. You don't see that as very often.
Remember from last year's SEC championships, Alabama seemed a little bit tight on the beam.
Jacob looks really comfortable up there. I love the unique skills that she does on this event there. She does a lot of things that you don't see as often. Coming up is one of them. She does a Branny, which is like a side aerial to 2 feet. There it is. She does that really nice and solid. I love it.
This has been the most solid routine so far on balance beam. Very relaxed, strong performance.
Only 2 gymnasts in their lineup competed in last year's NCAAs on the beam. This is one of the freshman phenoms from Florida, Mackenzie Caguado. Just a few months ago was competing for the U.S. national team in the World Championships in Rotterdam, where she brought home a silver medal. She joined the team at the semester break, and boy, what a contribution she's made. But she had a challenging week, didn't she, Kathy?
She certainly did. She rolled her ankle doing a conditioning drill, so she's only going to be competing on this one event, the uneven bars, and she is spectacular here. Big routine.
She and the other freshman, Elena Johnson, have really added a lot to the depth of this team.
Big routine.
Scores for Florida on the bars range between 9.775 for Malich up to a 9.825 for Alicia Goodwin. Kayla Hoffman now, you see her score on the bars, 9.875. Important routine for Alabama. Kim Jacob came up with a clutch 9.9. So their scores there range between 9.5, 9.75 to 9.9.
That was a huge boost. Big score. Kayla is so clean on this event. Really shows off the positions, the leaps, showing full split.
Both Sarah and Dana have worked a lot with this young athlete. I mean, actually, she's a senior, but she competed very little on this event her first couple years because she just didn't have the confidence and couldn't hit. But this season, she's competed being quite a bit.
Ranked 11th in the country right now on this event. 4th in the all-around.
Have a little bit of a deduction for that aerial. She lifted her leg to the side to regain balance. Oh, little balance check there.
They seem a little bit nervous right now. Just they know that a lot's at stake, and this event has such a small margin for error. Well, that's the way you do it.
You have to be aggressive on the landings. No fear.
Beautiful finish for Kayla Hoffman. Alabama has 3 strong routines, but they're going to need 2 big scores there. We'll be back with her score and more of this rotation in a minute. And welcome back to Birmingham. I'm Bart Connor along with Kathy Johnson-Clark and Suzanne Yocklin. Action continues in the second of 7 rotations on the beam with Alabama. This is Sarah DeMeo. The score before the break for Kayla Hoffman was a 9.75.
They have a pair of 9.75s, of course that 9.5 that they would like to drop, and a high 9.9 from Jacob. But they need these final 2 routines to be huge.
It's interesting the way this competition is breaking down, that because of the format, some gymnasts on a bye, some teams on a bye, after the final performance for Alabama on beam, they'll be halfway through the meet, just at the second of 7 rotations, because they've done bars and beam. The 2 real clutch events.
It's amazing how well the freshmen are doing for Alabama, with Kim Jacob having the 9.9, and now DeMeo just as solid as she could be. They look like real veterans up there. I love those leaps. They were fully split.
She gets a step landing here. This could be a big score for Alabama. difficult pike double back. Almost came up with the stick landing. Great difficulty, though.
All right, Toy Garcia, one of the standouts for Auburn now on vault. Justine Foster had a 9.75. So the scores for Auburn are consistent over there, but not through the roof.
They could use a big one.
She has a little bit of pike in the landing and her chest is down. But overall, that was a strong vault.
Here's our first look at Arkansas. This is Jamie Pisani, the junior out of New Jersey. She is a very balanced gymnast, currently 3rd in the country in the all-around and 3rd in the nation on this event as well.
She just competes so well, and as you said, very well-rounded, strong on all the events, great leader on this team.
This team is interesting because they really have 3 strong all-arounders that do basically half of the and Jordan Salzburg. So those 3 athletes capable of 9.8 to 9.9 on everything.
And Pisani has competed in the all-around all 3 years that she's been at Arkansas. She has not missed a meet in the all-around yet.
She's also ranked 3rd on floor exercise. It's a great event for her. Woo! That was nice.
That was so technically correct. Wow. I thought she was going to do a double Arabian. And then,
Sort of half in, half out.
Half out. That was beautiful. Coach Mark Cook and Renee say that she is just the kind of athlete you wish you had a whole team full of them. She's just really, really works hard and just a true leader for them.
The score, by the way, for Alabama over on the beam for DeMeo was a 9.9.
I love the difficulty in this routine. She has bonus in every single tumbling pass. You know what else I noticed? There's no tape on her ankles. One of the few athletes here tonight.
And this late in the season, that's pretty impressive, isn't
Yes.
it? Score for the freshman, Catherine Grable, is a 9.85. That's their high score on this event so far.
Solid landings. She opened into the floor on that double back. She actually extended her legs into the mat.
Back over to bars for Florida. This is their final performer. Mackenzie Caquato had a 9.875. So the low score for Florida on this event was Malish, which is a 9.775. So here's a big opportunity for this young freshman who also joined the team at the semester break.
And Elena is outstanding on this event. This is an opportunity for Florida to hopefully get into those big numbers at the end of their lineup. Gorgeous release move. Perfect distance from the bar.
She missed a handstand there right before the stall there. Elena has scored 5 times above a 9.925.
I love the variety in this routine. Excellent difficulty. Great landing.
Look for a big score there for Elena Johnson and a strong effort for Florida on their opening event, the bars. Now back to the beam. Geraldine Stack-Eaton, we saw her 9.6 on the bars because of that stumble on the dismount.
And I'm sure she would like to make up for that right here. And this is an event that she can do so well.
The score they'd like to replace is the 9.5 from Gutierrez. They've already had 2 9.9s in the lineup from Jacob and DeMeo. Great opportunity here.
Good fight on that landing.
Really nice combination there. She kept it moving. It was perfect.
The score back over on the bars for Elena Johnson from Florida caps off a great rotation there, 9.9. This team battle is going to be close.
Alabama's really setting the bar up high on balance beam. This looks like it's going to be a hit routine and a big score. And
It is
She knows it too. Wow.
You need 5 great routines, and Alabama got it on the most difficult event, the balance beam. This is good.
Woo, they can take a sigh of relief.
I'm Sarah Morrison from the LSU Tigers, and you're watching the SEC Championship.
Welcome back to the SEC Championships. Here are the standings through 2 rotations. Alabama is the only team that's actually done 2 events. Therefore, they have 98-375. Florida in second, Arkansas in third. But Florida actually has a slightly higher average score on a head-to-head basis. Now to Cat Hires for Georgia on the ball.
Important vault right here. Pretty big hop on the landing.
Now for Florida, on beam in a critical leadoff role. Malich.
She's been first up on this event every single week, so she's had a lot of experience here and loves to compete first up.
Takes a very special gymnast, one with ice water in their veins. Get up there, but look at her fight for that landing. Another gymnast might give away more there, and she hung on to it.
Most coaches really talk to their athletes about where they like to compete in the lineup on balance beam. Some athletes like to go early, some like to take a long time to prepare.
Nice dismount combination, not extremely difficult, but a little unique.
Great strategy, great strategy.
Colleen Williams, one of the many seniors on the Kentucky Wildcats team, ready for the bars. 9-4 was the score for Alicia Richard in the opening performance.
Turn was a little late on the high bar. You're supposed to complete the turn in vertical.
Okay, they don't quite have the level of difficulty as some of the top teams, but they're hitting routines, and that is what it's all about here at the SEC Championships.
Mariel Box is the athlete who replaced Lindsay Cheek from an injury earlier from tonight. She hasn't practiced vaulting for almost 3 weeks because of a compartmental syndrome in her leg.
Disappointment for Lindsay Cheek. When we saw her at the opening of the season, she got off to a terrific start as a freshman who joined the team at the semester break. But she has struggled through some of this year, and maybe the newness wore off.
Unfortunately, Jay Clark said, and she turned the corner before this competition was really, really ready, so it's an unfortunate injury. Very beautiful in the air. Unfortunately, she took that step back. I don't know if she needed to.
Well, she hasn't had a lot of practice on the sticking, so that is a great effort for someone who's been out of the gym on this event for over almost 3 weeks.
Their scores are 9-8 for Hires, and Noelle Couch had a 9-9.
Beautiful stretch right here. Nice toe point. A little bit of pike on the landing, but boy, for not having done this much, good job.
Now for Florida on the beam, Elena Johnson. You saw her 9-9 in the opening performance on the bars. Let's see what this young freshman can deliver here.
We can really see the nerves right here, but gathering all her reserve and nerve.
You know, it's interesting. Coach Rhonda Fain spoke to her a long time before she mounted the beam.
They're waiting for the score. Elizabeth Malich had a 9.775.
It's actually a very smart move. It can be, especially for these younger gymnasts, a very lonely experience, standing up there on the podium waiting. Rhonda went up there, spoke to her.
The other teammate, Randy Stageberg, had a 9.75. So,
wow, there's Kat Ding sticking the vault over there for Georgia, just when they need that. That was huge.
It's almost like you can always count on her to come up with big moments in a major competition.
Yeah, she's definitely a cat.
Elena's settling in a little bit here. The first part of the routine is just a little bumpy.
amazing how good this team is. And Liz Green is out with injuries, and she's one of their best, isn't she?
Certainly on this event.
Dismount is back 1.5, has a line landing.
Wow, her foot Missed just a little bit on the round off. He still pulls it out.
Clutch performance for the young freshman.
This made me just a little nervous.
A little bit knees, but you know, when you get a stick, it makes up for everything.
All right, we'll be back with her score and more of the third rotation in a minute. Welcome back to Birmingham. The Georgia Gym Dog fans are pumped up because the Gym Dogs are having a great meet. Cassie McComb, the senior out of Henderson, Nevada, will wrap it up here. All of their scores range between 9-8 and 9-9 on the vault for the Gym Dogs.
She is capable of a huge vault here, and they are scoring so well leading into this.
Wow, look at that.
1.5. Wow, great difficulty and a phenomenal landing.
I think this is one of the best 1.5s in the country.
Andrea Mitchell for Kentucky on the bars now. The score, by the way, for McComb was a 9.875, so a great rotation for Georgia on the ball. Oh!
She tries to cover it up. She never touched the floor, so it's not a 5-10 deduction, but it is a large deduction.
Andrea Mitchell, a solid balance performer. Sari Morrison, the freshman out of Dallas, Texas, now on floor for LSU. We saw that she had a difficult score, only a 9-3 on vault. Excuse me, on beam.
Dee says it's difficult for her to stay in bounds because she's 5'9" and she only gets one step leading into a tumbling pass.
It's hard for me to stay in bounds. I'm barely over 5 feet tall.
There's 3 steps. She gets close to the corner. Yep, she's got to keep it in bounds.
She's happy with that performance. Marissa King now, the sophomore out of Cambridge, England, the Olympian, will be up for Florida now, and it's tense over there.
This is a really big routine for Florida right now. They have not been getting the high scores on balance beam, but right now they're just a little bit behind Alabama, so they need 2 big scores here at the end of their lineup.
Ajane Dickerson, who just performed right before, did not have a high score.
9.625 was Dickerson's score, so
pressure's on.
Pressure is definitely on King and Goodwin, who will finish it up here for Florida on this event.
Florida has not scored a 9.8 yet or higher, and they need to be in that 9.8, a little bit higher than the 9.8 range to keep up with Alabama.
This is certainly an athlete you want in this position. She has experience under pressure. She's competed internationally for Great Britain, the Olympics, at the World. She knows what pressure feels like up on the podium. She's shown a lot of difficulty in this routine.
The dynamics of the equipment on the podium are different. The beam's just a little springier, bouncier, and sometimes wobblier.
Solid routine, get them back on track. She just had that one balance check.
Boy, a ton of pressure on the final performer coming up for Florida on the beam, because those are not the scores they had hoped for.
2.5 twist here. Difficult to land, double twist, excuse me. Solid routine and gets them back into the play.
Final performer for Florida on the beam, Alicia Goodwin. You see she did a nice job on bars, 9.825. 9.8 was the score from Marissa King. Best score so far for Florida on beam. Boy, they need a big score, and they need it now.
They do. This is where they're feeling the absence of Mackenzie Caquato. She would normally be in the lineup on this event. Alicia Goodwin is gorgeous on this event. She's going up last.
Interesting, the only time Florida stumbled this year was when they had a disastrous performance on the beam against Arkansas, and they lost a dual meet, which nobody thought was possible.
They haven't done poorly by any means on this event. They're hitting routines. They're just a little tight. They don't have the huge scores because they've given up little balance breaks here. But I tell you what, so far, Coach Rhonda Fain is going to be extremely pleased with this gymnast.
Boy, she's polished, isn't she?
She is, which you give up no tenths of a point for the simple things. Nice dismount, came up with a great landing. That's doing your job. Just beautiful polish, as you said.
High expectations for the Gators last year, and they came up short at the NCAA championships, which they hosted. High expectations again this year, and they did well on beam. We'll be back. The scores after the end of the third rotation, right after this.
Coach Patterson, you're ahead right now at this point in the competition. What did you say to the team?
You know, I just told them, just focus on one routine at a time. They're doing awesome. They've had great teamwork, and we're coming up on 2 great events for us.
After 3 rotations, Alabama setting the bar for everyone. They have a 0.2 point lead over rival Florida, and Georgia having a hot competition, just 25 thousandths of a point behind Florida. Suzanne is now with Florida's head coach, Rhonda Fain.
Rhonda, Alabama leads by 0.2 point right now, but you're coming into your strongest events. What do you plan to tell the team in the locker room?
To just do what we normally do, to be extremely aggressive, to go out there and have fun, and to just really focus on really performing.
Thanks, Rhonda.
For Auburn now, Katrina Yoke on the bars. The scores for Habich, Garcia, and Vining before her range between 9.7 and 9.725.
Good, solid scores. This is a fantastic routine. She has great combinations. Wow, that is gorgeous.
It looks like she's going to do a back straddle, and then she does a half turn.
It's not just
Really
difficult.
nice.
It looks fun.
And then right here, she gets ready to do a hop, full, pirouette, but hop, both hands, right there, into an immediate double tuck. Different, more difficult.
Some of the best difficulty in the competition in that routine.
For Arkansas now in the vault, Catherine Grable, the freshman out of Oshkosh, Wisconsin. She won the all-around in her first meet as a Razorback, scoring 39.225 against Oklahoma.
She's ranked 15th in the all-around nationally. Having a great season.
Before her, Jordan Salzberg has a 9.875. Borsellino and 9.825. So Arkansas really good here.
Good scores. Nice job! And it's so great to see a different vault.
No
we see
kidding.
so many Yurchenko fulls.
And she had her legs tightened together throughout the turn.
Beautiful distance from the table. Watch this. Very complicated half
turn,
on.
front tuck for the half. Wow, very nice.
Earlier, we saw Jamie Pisani of Arkansas score a 9.9 on floor. She's also spectacular on this event. 15th in the country.
Beautiful vault. I tell you what, these are some of the best vaults.
Right. I love how she flared her arms out to the side. She spotted the landing. Really so technically correct. And Mark Cook is certainly a technician, and it shows right here on this vault. Flared out. Oh, that was just absolutely beautiful.
We talk about clutch performances on balance beam. Geraldine Stack-Eaton, after a disappointing dismount on the bars, rocked a beam routine. Let's see what she can come up with for Alabama on the floor here. The scores for her teammates: Kim Jacob, 9.875, Ashley Sledge, a 9.9, and Gutierrez, a 9.875.
It's amazing how well you can do when balance beam is behind you and you have the lead. They are just on fire.
Really does loosen you up.
Alabama is really taking control of this meet right now.
A very good-sized pro-Alabama crowd in attendance, so this isn't exactly a home meet, but it's just about an hour away from Tuscaloosa, so they're feeling the love in here for sure.
Well, they have to set the bar high because they go in the locker room on that last rotation, and they're not competing at the end.
Last year, these championships were held in Jacksonville, Florida, And Florida edged out its strongest rivals to win that one. In a competition like this, a 10th or 2 is a difference between first and second. Maybe the home crowd advantage is a slight help here. They sure look comfortable, don't they?
Very comfortable and very confident right now. If I'm Sarah Patterson, I'm feeling real good right now.
A gorgeous high pike double back to finish off a terrific routine.
And guess what? They have 2 gymnasts yet to go, Deandra Milliner and Kayla Hoffman.
That was beautiful.
The Crimson Tide knows that they are on target tonight. Deandra Milliner now. The score for Geraldine Stack-Eaton, another 9.925.
Yeah, Alabama's almost averaging a 9.9 right now on floor exercise. This is a really strong rotation.
Oh, what happened?
Oh, I don't know, but she better keep going. She got hurt.
No, she might have forgotten her routine. I just could have just been a jarring landing.
Oh my goodness, is she okay?
I'm not sure.
Well, we'll find out right here.
Oh.
She's okay, that's the good news. And they can throw out this score, hopefully.
I can't even venture to guess what happened.
It does happen. I think she might have just forgotten, just blanked out just a little.
It looked like to me she thought she got hurt, but then realized she didn't.
Whoa.
Well, once she got back into the routine, the tumbling was definitely the highlight of that routine. And from that reaction, I think she just forgot.
She's 8th in the country on this event. Just a freshman who joined the team at the semester break.
Nice difficulty, double Arabian. I think you're right, Kathy.
Who knows? When you're on a podium and you have different perspective, different points of view that you're looking at, I think she just blanked out. It does happen. It's not often, thank goodness. As she said as she walked off, oh my God.
Well, she sure did recover well.
Yep, she was just temporarily lost.
Well, Alabama is rocking on floor, so that's the only blemish on the event so far for the Crimson Tide. Kayla Hoffman now the final performer, 11th in the country on this event, with an average just under 9.9. The score for Milliner was a 9.75. Alabama already has 4 incredible scores on this event.
This is someone who truly performs the floor exercise.
She opens with a piked full in. Oh, stay in bounds. She does.
a few steps on landings, but the performance was so moving.
All right, we'll be back at the score for Kayla Hoffman and see where the Crimson Tide is after 3 of 4 routines for them.
I'm Kayla Hoffman from the University of Alabama Crimson Tide, and you're watching the SEC Championship.
I'm Jamie Pisani from the University of Arkansas Razorbacks, and you're watching SEC Championship.
Welcome back to Birmingham. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Let's take a look at the standings after 4 of 7 rotations. Only Alabama and Kentucky have actually performed 3 events. So look at the right-hand column. Alabama averaging 9.85 per gymnast. Arkansas 9.83, and Florida and Georgia with a 9.82. As could be expected, we knew it was going to be close coming into this. Florida get ready now to go for the floor, where they are 2/10 behind Alabama, and they are in fact 2/10 ahead of the rest of the country in averages on that event.
And this could be an extremely high-scoring event for Florida. So keep that in mind. Some of the events just tend to be higher scores, like Arkansas and Georgia really took off with their vault scores.
But Arkansas and Georgia have not competed on the balance beam yet, and that's a lower scoring event. Watch Florida on floor exercise. The momentum has been shifting back and forth between them and Alabama, and they've been competing on the same events. So you have that direct comparison.
Randy Stagerberg now, the sophomore out of Chesapeake, Virginia, for the Gators on floor.
This is a new first tumbling pass for her this year. It's such an improvement over last year. She does the pike full in.
Florida does some of the most difficult tumbling passes in the country. Hoping that that will pay off. You still have to stick them.
Small mistake there by Stagberg on her middle tumbling pass.
All right, on the bars for Georgia now, Gina Nuccio. We said this is going to be wild. There's a lot of action going on, so we're trying our best to keep you apprised of all of the things happening simultaneously here in Birmingham.
Let you know what it feels like in the arena. 4 routines going on at the same time.
Music in the background, lots of cheering when you're competing.
She's very
Definitely a 3-ring circus.
Now up for LSU on the vault, Malia Mathis, one of their super freshmen. She and Sari Morrison have really contributed a great deal as young performers for the Tigers.
LSU has scores ranging from 9.8 to 9.875. Good scores so far.
The highest score, 9.875, went to Ashley Lee.
This is another layout with a half turn.
Wow, good landing. I think I would have milked it a little bit longer in that stuck position, then turned to salute the judge.
She normally takes a hop on her landing because she hollows and then opens out of it and creates a hop, but she really held her body position throughout the turn. Beautiful.
Shayla Worley, the sophomore, the fragile sophomore for Georgia, will be getting ready to go on the bars. Let's catch you up to date with their scores. Kristen Tonella had a 9.85, Noelle Couch a 9.775, and Gina Nuccio's 9.9. Impressive.
I'll tell you what, they are having one heck of a meet. All the pressure has been on Florida and Alabama, and I think they just snuck right in there and said, hey, don't count us out of this.
Georgia's definitely competing up to their full potential right now, and Shayla Worley is an X factor for them. She has the potential to score so high.
Jay Clark told us early in the season that he was really frustrated because they don't have a lot of depth this year, so they didn't have a lot of room for error. But boy, are they peaking at the right time. Oh!
No. Well, you saw that coming. Like I was going to say, she can put up a big score, but she can also miss. She's very inconsistent. She had kidney stones recently and was out of practice for a week. You can see she's going to miss this. It's a bray. It's a toe-on, toe-off, reverse hack. And when she comes off the bar, she never really gets fully extended.
He's so aggressive with that skill. And is typically pretty far away from the bar, but usually just gets her hands on.
Just a handstand there.
Oh, too bad a missed opportunity here, because it could be one of their biggest scores. Could have been one of their biggest scores.
Now for Georgia, Kat Dink. Score for Cassidy McComb was a 9.8. Shayla Worley had a 9.225. The high score for Georgia so far, 9.9 for Nuccio. Kat Dink is tied for 4th in the country on this event, averaging over 9.9. She's the reigning SEC champion here.
You gotta love this gymnast. She comes up with big moments in major competitions for Georgia, and a great routine here.
And that's what we love. We love someone makes a mistake and someone else comes out big, and Kat Dink's had to do that a lot this year on the uneven bars.
Boy, after that 9.225 from Worley, a huge routine for the Gym Dogs.
This Georgia team is really full of spit and fire right now. They are not letting go easily.
Final performer for Florida on the floor now, Ajane Dickerson, the sophomore who, as you mentioned last year, Kathy Johnson-Clark, had ice in her veins when they needed a clutch performance. She was able to do it as a young freshman.
And this is a big moment for her. She'd like to come up bigger here on floor exercise than on balance beam, and they have done fantastic so far in this rotation. Huge Arabian double front.
Florida cannot quite catch up with Alabama after this routine, but they can definitely close the gap if they get a big score here.
Just before her, Elena Johnson had a 9.9. Boy, this is going to be close coming down to the final rotation, because even a big score here will not move Florida ahead of Alabama, but it's going to be so close, and there's one rotation to go for both of these teams.
It will definitely move them closer. We've got 2 9.9s.
They're going to keep it close, that's for sure.
Well, we'll be back with the score for Ajane Dickerson. Florida looking good. This is going to come down to the final gymnast on the final landing.
I'm Ashley Sledge from the University of Alabama Crimson Tide, and you're watching the SEC Championships.
And welcome back to the SEC Championships in women's gymnastics. Here are the standings through the 5th rotation. Alabama and Florida separated by 0.15 of a point, and Georgia slight behind. It is close as we anticipated, and Georgia has to go to the balance beam of all events in their final rotation. Noelle Couch will be first up.
Georgia's doing so well in this competition, having to face the injury of Lindsey Cheek, and to be able to be this close in the competition after all of the injuries they've had this entire season is really remarkable.
And they are neck and neck with Arkansas, virtually tied.
This is the event where Georgia ranks highest nationally. They're 4th in the country on this event.
Noelle is such a stalwart for Georgia, and she gets overlooked sometimes because she doesn't put up a lot of the 9.9 scores, but she competes all around in every single meet, and she's really, really, really been dependable.
Just being so tough on this event. He is aggressive on the landing, giving nothing away.
I like her dismount. It's a little bit different. She does a double twist, but she gets into it from 2 back handsprings.
What a nice lead-off performance.
Quickly to the vault. Sarah DeMeo from Alabama. This is their final rotation.
They need stuck landings here to put the pressure on Florida. They have got to try to hit every
This is where the landings come into play. They're very important. And when you hop both feet, you must take a 1/10 deduction minimum.
Keep in mind, these two teams are very equal on this event.
In fact, their average scores this year are identical. They both share the lead in the nation on this event.
And this is the story. Moffitt on balance beam. This is the story for Georgia, Bart.
She is replacing Lindsay Cheek, who sprained her ankle on a straddle jump in the warm-ups. The young freshman in tears before this competition. Not a way they hoped to start, but boy, have they rallied in this diversity situation.
And this is where it's really, really strong, a good idea to have your athletes compete exhibition. This young lady's only competed a couple times for Georgia, but she's been able to get some experience in exhibition, and that comes into play right now.
Sledge will be vaulting for Alabama.
She'll probably vault right out of that little square on your screen. She's got a lot of power.
Score for Noelle Couch for Georgia, opening up on beam was a 9.775. DeMeo at a 9.8 for Alabama.
Great vault. Great vault. Not completely stuck. Very close.
She hopped both feet.
Ranked 15th in the country on vault Ashley Sledge.
Moffitt is handling this pressure so well. There you go. Smile. And breathe. Definitely a routine a coach can be extremely proud of and pleased with.
Wow,
Good
stuck
job.
dismount. What a huge moment for her. She came through right when the team needed her. Adversity really does reveal character.
You see that relief on Jay Clark's face.
You don't normally see that much from him.
No, you don't.
Back to vault for Alabama. Ashley Sledge had a 9.875. Gutierrez now. Oh,
There you go. Fought for the landing.
so high.
Giving away those 0.5 or 1/10, and that can make a difference, though, at the end. They need those stuck landings.
Right here, she just hops back, trying to keep those feet put.
Now for Georgia on the balance beam. Krista Tanella, the sophomore out of Lucas, Texas, did her club gymnastics at WOGA, the program that produced the last 2 Olympic all-around champions.
And this is as pretty a routine as you will see on the balance beam. She's very elegant, very poised, clean. I like the pace with which Krista works the balance beam. Very confident, very swift. Oh no! Put that one. Well, she saved it. Did a little surfing.
Moffitt score, by the way, 9.875.
Well, I'm sure that's a career high for her. That was just a clutch performance. There's an Anodi on the balance beam. We've seen that a couple times tonight.
You heard the cheering in the background. Alabama still doing well on the ball. Gutierrez had a 9.9, and Stack Eaton stuck hers.
Tell you what, Georgia is more than hanging tough here. Really going all out. Really the way you have to attack this event. Very tempting to be careful, to not want to make mistakes. You have to go after it aggressively, and they are very well done.
Incredible. after a 3-3 season in the SEC. Georgia looking great and pumped up. We'll be back with more gymnastics in the 6th rotation after this. Pair of 9.925s on the beam and the floor. What can she do on the vault for Alabama?
Gorgeous in the air. Now that is a stock landing, and you milk it. Keep those feet down.
She had her body straight when she landed, too. Really nice body position on the landing.
Even pointed toes right here.
That's going to score big. She's having quite a day, isn't she?
Alabama has the lead. They have to set the mark for Florida, who is in the bye, basically back in the locker room, waiting to come out and finish on their final rotation, the vault as well. The score for Stack Eaton, a 9-9. Hillary Morrow now for Georgia.
What a tremendous contribution this athlete has made to Georgia team throughout her career. They have counted on her, and she has come through in the clutch many, many times. Look at her go after the landings. Very aggressive.
Tanella's score, she hung on for a 9.725.
Hillary just loves to compete. You can see that in her face. She just goes after it every single competition. She's had some trouble with her Achilles all year, but it has not affected her on this event.
This is the most focus and determination I've seen on balance beam this entire competition. And the place is just going wild in here. Look at her hold her focus.
It's incredible because Alabama's on vaulting and this arena is just going crazy supporting Alabama, and Georgia is just blocking them out and nailing the beam. Wow, that was a beautiful routine from her. Love that front tuck. Love that dismount. What a great way for a senior to compete. Beautiful stuck landing.
All right, great finish for Morrow. And here's Kayla Hoffman. This could be a highlight for Alabama. Oh!
Wow.
What a landing!
We've talked about this before. Gosh, does she really separate the layout and the twist? She does that vault so well.
Asking to go up, you see the scores that she has contributed to the Gym Dogs today. This senior leader is the final performer in the 6th rotation.
She's been absolutely crucial to this team this season. Consistently performing the all-around, routine after routine, really trying to keep this team together and on track.
She's only missed 3 routines the entire season for Georgia. When I say 3 routines, I mean in the all-around, competing every single event. She's only missed 3 routines.
Georgia has definitely saved their best for these SEC championships. They've struggled throughout the season. Could not put together a complete meet. Fight.
It's been such a pleasure to watch Cassidy grow through the years. She is just really, really coming to her own as a senior.
I think in a way we might also see Coach Jay Clark coming into his own.
When he's a senior.
Really, I think he's really peaking his team at the right time, and he hasn't had the luxury of much depth this year.
He hasn't. You know, there hasn't been a lot of pressure on them in this competition. That's what he said. He goes, we can just go out there and have fun.
Much of the focus, of course, on Alabama and Florida. And in the meantime, Georgia having just a fantastic meet.
Another terrific routine for Georgia.
Smile, there it is.
All right, we'll come back with her score. And the final score for Georgia and Alabama. And the bar is set high for Florida coming up next.
I'm Cassidy McCollum from the University of Georgia Gym Dogs, and you're watching the SEC Championship.
Welcome back to Birmingham. Here are the standings through rotation 6. As you can see, 3 teams have completed the competition. Alabama in the lead, Georgia second, and Kentucky third. We go to the vault now. This is Florida. They know the mark they have to get if they hope to try to beat Alabama, and it's huge.
Wow, it's a great start.
It is. Great body, stuck landing. Great start.
Way to start us off.
Ajane Dickerson.
She can do a huge vault here, and she often sticks. We'll see.
Wow! They're definitely going after it.
Beautiful job, you guys. I just want to say that I don't care what happens today. I have never enjoyed a team as much as I've enjoyed y'all. I have never been felt a part of something.
Anna Johnson for Florida. Only one slightly tight performance today on the beam. Otherwise, 9 9s for bars and floor. Score for Dickerson and 9-9.
She does this ball beautifully in the air.
Oh, they're thinking about sticking. They know what they've got to get, and taking a step forward is not as good.
It's definitely a different approach. You're really trying to hone in on that landing. You've got to do the vault first.
It's just too much too late from Florida right here.
There's Jordan Salzberg on beam.
You gotta wonder, Bart. You know, that's the one thing about Florida. They've been ranked #1 the entire season. But Alabama, they've won the big one 4 times, and Coach Patterson and her staff really know how to prepare for postseason. We've said that all year.
They really break the season down into 3 sections. The championship, of course, the most important time.
Arkansas, going into this event, needed as big a score as Florida needs on vault to get into that 3rd place position. And because Georgia just hit it out of the park. They are certainly poised, though, to finish higher than they ever have at the SEC Championships.
Arkansas will likely be 4th in this competition. You see Marissa King, her efforts today on beam and floor. The score for Elena Johnson was a 9.85. She couldn't quite stick that. This will wrap it up for Florida, but as we mentioned, they needed to average more than a 9.9 on this event, and they're not going to get it.
In depth, and we have worked our best.
Really the most difficult vault in the competition. 1.5 twist, and it's a biggie.
Oh, big.
That is gorgeous. So hard to do.
Well, if she needed a 9.95 for the win, I think they might have gotten it.
They needed to give her a bonus over 10 for just the difficulty.
The official scores are in. Alabama will win the 2011 SEC Championships. They did not get the best draw, but guess what? They outperformed the rest of the field, no question about it. And here are the final standings. Alabama wins over Georgia by 0.25 of a point. Great competition, Kathy.
Well, Florida's nerves definitely got the best of them. They were a little tight on beam, didn't hit some of their floor landings, and Alabama just responded a little bit better to the pressure and outcompeted them. Georgia had a great night, though, to secure 3rd.
Here's Suzanne Yocklin with winning coach from Alabama, Sarah Patterson.
Thanks, Bart. Well, congratulations, Sarah. You won by 0.25. What a meet.
It was an awesome experience, and I'm so proud of these ladies. I've said before, this is one of the most enjoyable teams that we've ever coached, and for them to achieve this goal and know that they can be the champions. It's amazing.
Well, how about Geraldine Secchi? She made a big difference tonight, didn't she?
Well, she did, because she had a mistake on bars. Geraldine's so tough on herself, and I think the turning point is when she came back on that next event and rocked for us.
Well, absolutely. Well, congratulations, Coach, on the title.
Congratulations to the Crimson Tide of Alabama. Another great night of gymnastics in the SEC. For Kathy Johnson-Clark and Suzanne Yocklin, I'm Bart Connor. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.